During the COVID-19 trying to... I'm glad it's not live today. During the trying times that are the COVID-19 period, we all know it's a little bit hard as a salesperson to stay motivated. So what we're going to talk about today on Steel Pushers is how to get motivated and how to stay motivated. That's the topic for the day, Steve.
Yeah, and what a good topic, because this is just for everyone on the planet, really. It's like if you're not motivated and you're not in a pocket, you normally don't come up first. You come up second, third, fourth, fifth, don't you? So you got to stay motivated. Motivation comes and goes. So how do you keep it and how do you stay on it?
That's it. And, you know, with so many of us working from home or working in environments where there's reduced staff, it's all about doing it yourself and making sure you're making the efforts that you need to get motivated and to stay there. So to get us cracking, I think the first thing that really is important, and it's relevant whether you're working from home or if you're in an office environment, you've got to create a motivated environment, Steve.
Environment's everything, you know. You got to set it up for success. I always tell the staff that. So, you know, when this whole COVID thing hit and we had to go out the door and go home and work from home, everyone had to send in a picture of their working environment because it's just so important. That's what keeps you up and about.
Yeah, that's it. And I think something that we did very early on when I first started with Steel Pushers is get stuck into eliminating that tall poppy syndrome mentality. It's a big problem in Australia. It's something that I've noticed through my entire sales career. And to be completely honest, it's only something I've managed to really overcome in my last 3 or 4 years in sales. And that tall poppy syndrome mentality, it just needs to be wiped out.
Oh, yeah. You know, you go to America, that doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't.
Because they all just want to get on with it and stand out and be the dominant one, don't they?
That's right.
But in Australia it exists, but in teams, that's the last thing you need because that'll just pull down the standards of the team. So, yeah, you need to get that out of there. As far as environment goes, consider your music. Music is a great thing for keeping the motivation going. You know, you can play up some of the pump-up music, whatever floats your boat, really. It's like, sports good players do it, don't they? To get the focus, they've always got the headphones on before they go in.
Yep.
I know you like to crank it up before we come into the show here and dance around like a bloody goose, but that's all good, isn't it?
Well, my music's not to everyone's taste.
No.
I mean, heavy metal doesn't get everybody going, but and yeah, you're 100% right, Steve. Having that environment where you're able to have that space in order to do what you need to do to get pumped, to get started, whether it is music. But when you've got a team environment where everybody is happy to showcase their success and share in their success rather than hide behind that tall poppy and be worried about what anyone else is doing, just embracing the fact that you're doing well and not being afraid to shout it from a mountaintop, and then, you know, using that music and using your environment to pump yourself up as well. It's so powerful, and it's a really good way to get motivated and get the ball rolling. So and I think a really good way of helping to really create that sort of team vibe where you're pushing everybody to go as hard and be as successful as you can be is to make sure that you consider your success a responsibility and the success of everyone around you a celebration.
We're huge on that here, you know, so the whole week is based on that. You know, we get to, we start our week on a Monday. Everyone's got to go through their wins of the week. And it can be in business, it can be in personal, whatever it is, but for that tangible week that you just had, what are the wins come out of it? And you start your week like that, it just gives you a good mindset, you know, helps with the environment because you get to see the wins as a team. Very important.
And it keeps you as a salesperson conscious of what you've achieved in the previous week. We've all got a lot on our plates and it's really easy to just forget.
Yeah.
You know, how well you did the previous week.
Yeah, well, we're taking a step further, haven't we, the old cookie jar.
Yeah,
so when you get something good, you write out on a sticky note.
That reminds me, I've got another one to add to this week.
What'd you do?
Another one to add.
What'd you do?
Well, the next one to add is getting the first finance widget up and running. So.
Oh, nice!
Yeah,
another win.
Chef boys.
Another
win.
Another win.
That's it.
Yeah, so they've got to write what the win is, put in the cookie jar. You got this, you know, glass jar on the workbench that they get to see all those wins that they've, you know, put in there. And then at times where maybe they're not winning, they can pull out the old notes and have a look and go, oh, I'm going all right, really.
That's right, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
And there's something that you will see, and we can't just go past it. It's something that every single company, every team environment sees. When you start building environments like this that are so conducive to success and motivation, you will see cancers. You will see them, and I'm sorry, I've got to be blunt, and Steve's done it. We saw it early. When you see that cancer, be brutal, remove it, cut it out, get rid of it. There's no point in letting it spread.
Yeah, well, it's the old higher, slow, get rid of them fast analogy, Lyndon, because it's like, if you got someone who's pulling the team down or, not on fire and constantly doing it, you got to take it out of the team because it'll bring a team down. So you got to keep the team up by taking out the low achievers, I call them.
And create that motivated, friendly workspace, that motivation-friendly workspace. Have your dream board up. We've all got dream boards here. I had the pleasure of thankfully coming back into the office over the last couple of days because that's where my dream board's been sitting, and I got to tick a few of them off. I didn't realise I'd got 5 of them out of the bag. Not a house with a bigger yard. I am renting, but it's a big yard. I've got my fishing kayak. I'm starting to tick off a lot of what I thought I'd never really have, and because I put them in a physical sense to show myself I can achieve this, and I've just ticked things off my dream board. Keep a tidy workspace as well is really important.
Oh, it's huge, because if you've got a messy workspace, messy mind, and then how do you actually, produce an amazing day? So we're big on that. I'm sure you steel pushers out there, you got a messy desk, you end up with a not so good week.
Oh, it drives you nuts. It does me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obsessive compulsive, someone like you. Of course it does.
Fill your workspace with what gets you out of bed every day.
Yeah.
That's what you want to fill. Pictures of the kids, the family, the kayak you want, the car you want, the truck, the boat, whatever you're after, whatever gets you going in the morning.
And keep them up to date. How often do you go for a meeting and it's like, the guy's got his picture of his kids. You're like, oh, you got young kids. Oh, no, they're about 15 now.
Or 24.
Just about when the kids are 3 years old. So it's like, keep it current. Update your pictures.
Yeah, definitely. The next thing to really focus on as well, once you've created that motivation-friendly environment, is focus on your energy levels. Energy is a massive, massive part of staying, and I know it sounds cliche, but good energy levels equals excellence. It's as simple as that. If your mindset is charged, if your body is charged and you're waking up ready to take on the day, you feel better about the day. You perform better throughout the day. And to start the process of making sure you have that energy, influence what you can. And you can start with things like how you start your day. Getting out of bed. Steve, you're the big man, fond of his cold showers and meditation.
The old routine every morning, can't go without it. The cold shower, it just turns the brain on.
And for me, I've only just started, but I'm jumping in a freezing cold swimming pool and knocking out as many laps as I can. But it gets me up, that's for sure. And diet. Diet's such a big thing.
Oh yeah, I've seen it so much over the years, 14 years down the track, and you got these salespeople come in having their big hamburgers at lunchtime, just right off the afternoon,
I was shocking for it. I was shocking for it. Sitting at lunch, having a massive burger and wondering why I feel like I'm half asleep for the last half of the day.
Yeah.
You've got to be conscious of your water intake, your diet, the habits that pull your motivation down, and breaking those bad habits. It takes effort, it takes strength, but bit by bit, if you chip away at those bad habits and develop better habits, it really helps your energy levels.
It's all in the organisation. It's all in the planning. It's what you come up with. Like if you're going out on the road and you're going out seeing people about machinery, if you don't have some snacks in the car or other bits and pieces, you're going to end up at a petrol station. Yeah. And then those things are just geared to sell you rubbish, aren't they? So you get the quick fix, because you get to 2 o'clock in the afternoon when you haven't fed me, you goose, taking me out to see customers.
It's a running joke here at Machines for You that I'm pretty shocking when it comes to being on the road, that I'll just charge through to about 3 o'clock before I even think about eating, and
No.
That doesn't go down well with the co-workers that come along with me.
No, people tend to get a little grumpy over my side of the car, that's for sure. So as long as he feeds me, then I'll keep pushing on.
But you're right, Steve. That good water intake, that good food intake, that good mindset, it keeps your energy levels high. That's really conducive to being really motivated. So the next thing to really focus on is to practice what you're preaching. You can write down all the plans in the world. You can itemize a journal. You can do whatever you can and put it on paper to plan out everything. But if you're not practicing it, if you're not physically going out of your way to get it done and to change your behaviours conducive to a more motivated individual, nothing changes. You've got to practice what you preach.
Start with a must-do list. I didn't say a to-do list. A to-do list is just one of those lists you write a heap of things on a page. A must-do list is the stuff that you have to do today. And number it. Have it at the top of your list. You should know every day I'm going to get through my top 5. If you made that a goal of getting through your top 5 every day, you'd be a different beast. You'd be a different...
I want to write that one down now. I like that must-do list.
There you go, must-do list. Not a to-do list. Everyone's got a to-do list. Do you always do it?
I do a to-do list, but not a must-do list.
Must-do list, you will make sure you do it. So it's one of my little tricks of the trade that I've used over the years, and it tends to work for me. So give it a crack.
And training's so important. We all get sales training, but it's about implementing it and recording the results from that training. Whether or not you're trying a new script, you're trying a new clothes, you're doing different things throughout your day to try and make yourself more successful. Trial and error is a big thing. Making sure that you actually implement the training and then record the results to then review at a later date. It's huge. It's a massive part of the process of staying motivated. Because if you can see a tangible difference, why wouldn't you keep doing it?
Yeah. And select something you like doing. If you like selling, stay in it. If you don't, go do something else. Yeah. It's like you've got to be an ambassador of what you do. You're going to do something, do it well. That's always been my motto. So if you enjoy it, go hard at it and be an ambassador of the industry. Be an ambassador of your upbringing. Be an ambassador of your company. Do your customers proud and actually, enjoy what you do. And if you don't, go do something else. I'm a firm believer we get one go on this planet and you want to give it an absolute fair crack. So one go on the planet, do what you enjoy. If you do what you enjoy, you'll be good at it.
That's it. And celebrate those small successes. It's really crucial that you are celebrating, and not just your small successes, the successes of the team around you as well. No matter how small. Every little success, every little change that you make that results in a small win is worth celebrating. We're salespeople. We're emotional beings, salespeople.
No, Jesus. And a bit like the other day.
That's right. But getting that recognition of a job well done, the simplest thing really keeps us going. We all know it, And as much as some of us might not like to admit it, that the old pat on the back does wonders for us, it's huge. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that. There's nothing wrong with celebrating that, and involve everyone in the training, not just your sales staff. It's like we've always said, the mantra here, this isn't a sales department and a marketing department, it's a get more sales department. And, all the guys that are on the marketing crew, they get involved with the sales training. The guys in the sales team get involved with what the marketing guys are doing in relation to video shoots or photo shoots, or everybody's kept in the loop with what everyone's doing. Our leadership team, the brains and the brawn behind what is Machines for You, keep us involved. So don't be afraid to keep the whole team involved in every aspect of the business, because you feel like you know more about what you're doing every day.
Communication's key to a team being motivated, and that's what we've learned it the hard way over the years, and we've learned to figure out that when you're thinking you're communicating really well, you've normally got another step, and you can you never over communicate what you need to for a team to be motivated. So communication is key.
That's it. So guys, we'll be back after a short break. Time flies. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
The life of a salesman. A brand new month, a brand new sales quota. Look out, world, here I come. But what if you had an app that brought in sales leads around the clock? An app that made it easy to advertise your machines in high definition, in full motion, and help you sell faster with market trends and sales training. Uplist is a sales tool in your pocket. See the demand, then satisfy it. Put your best foot forward. Helps right at your fingertips. Highlight what your buyers want to see. When your sales pipeline's thin, hear the ding, be the king. Buy better, sell faster.
Welcome back, Steel Pushers. I'm loving being back on the show, Steve. It's definitely something that I miss, and it's nice to be back in the studio. And I definitely want to draw attention to the fact that before we kick on, that it's been a year.
12 months, guys, when you're having fun. Yeah, that's what Mick said to me this week. It's 12 months since we've been, doing this Steel Pushers show. It's been a cool journey, cool ride. Learned a lot, still learning, enjoying it.
Never stop
the show's still evolving, and I'm sure there's some other cool things we'll do over the next 12 months, Lyndon.
That's it. And a massive, massive thank you to all of you Steel Pushers out there that have supported the show, watched each and every week and taken on the advice that we're hoping you guys out there find useful. Because even watching the episodes back, I look at how we all started and how it all began, and I'm still learning each and every day, even from the own episodes that we do. It's a good reminder. So the big thing, and on that note of learning, a massive part to staying motivated is mastering your craft. In the sales world, this is a skill that not everyone has, and not everyone can have or can even develop. And to master the craft and to master what you do is a massive part of staying motivated.
This is the cool part. This is what always excited me in sales, was just there's so many different areas of it that you can refine, and there's always something new to learn. There's always a better way to communicate with people, because people, and we're all so unpredictable, and we've all come with our unique beauties and qualities and things, and we're all going through different stresses and strains. So being able to master your craft is a huge part to any successful salespeople. I've employed salespeople for 14 years. I've seen it all, to be perfectly honest, and there's so many who think they're really playing full out, but they're just dabbling in it. And it just amazes me that they don't take on the learning, they don't take on the opportunity to really master something and get really good at it.
And that's the key. It's about, you never stop learning. Chuck in 15 minutes of training, whether it's just yourself or your whole team or everyone. 15 minutes of training in the morning, a quick bit of role play, a rehash on a close, maybe brainstorming on different methods of closing a sale. It's all about making sure that each and every day there's something that keeps you learning, that keeps you sharp, that keeps honing those skills, making it just feels good to master something new all the time.
Humans feel better when we're growing.
Yeah.
When we're actually learning and growing and achieving or doing something new, we always feel better. So as humans, we feel better, then we do our role better. So, it's just such an important part of the aspect of sales, is just to learn more, to appreciate more, to listen more, to be there actually for our customers is the ultimate thing, really.
That's right. When you're mastering your craft and learning more and learning to do your job better, you're doing your job better for your customers. And it's that, I love that. That's one thing that we've implemented here at Machines for You, definitely, is the 12-to-1 ratio. I love it. A book a month for an entire year, 12 books. Never in my life did I ever think I'd be doing 12 motivational books or sales skills books or even just general life skills books throughout a 12-month period. It's an incredible thing that you've implemented here.
Well, everyone in the team does it. So, once a week we split up we do it by audio book. Some people like to read. If you're old Sammy, he reads about a million
miles a minute.
Million words a minute, he likes to read straight from the book. But everyone's on Audible. We hook up these books. I just look at it and go, rightio, our team is better off than any other team, because we've read 12 books and learning from. We share the learning, we're learning off each other, because quite often I read something and you pick up something totally different, and then we get to actually share that, which is pretty cool when you see a team going through that process, isn't it?
Yeah, and something as simple as, the book we recently met, it's part of the inspiration to this episode, Grant Cardone's, how to get and stay motivated, and something as simple as, 70 plus motivational tips, and I got quite emotional with some because they link to your personal life as well as your professional, and Steve's right, we're a better team for it. There's so many sales teams out there, and most sales teams out there won't go and read 12 books in a year to improve their skill set. So it's all well and good we've got these new skills, Steve.
Yeah.
It's all well and good that we're learning and we're developing, but you've got to be accountable for making sure that you implement that learning. You need to be disciplined enough to hold both yourself and your team accountable for your work ethic, for your targets, for knowing your numbers, for making sure that you're following up and implementing everything that you've learned on a regular basis. You've got to be held accountable for it.
Yeah, well, we've done that with the team recently over the last sort of 4 or 5 months, while we all worked from home, and we've just had the best 4 or 5 months in business than we probably had in the whole 14 years. So everyone is accountable to themselves and to each other, to the team. So, it's about having structure, it's about having schedules of people catching up, it's about a buddy system, it doesn't just have to come from management, it doesn't have to come from the bosses. Where I see this works really well is when a peer-to-peer can say to someone, hang on a sec, you got to crack on a bit here, mate, you haven't done what the role needs right now. So when I hear that going on throughout the team, that's when I know it's successful, and it bloody works.
It does, yeah, it certainly does. When you've got the team around you that they're not pushing you because they think you could do better, but they're pushing you because they know you can do better, and they know that's your role, and they know you've got the skill set and the learning that you've had over the last few months that you can do better. When it's coming from a team member like that, it's massive, especially to me and to the guys here for sure.
Well, we know, or I've learned that everyone's capable of 30% more.
Yep.
So when you put that ratio into anything, whether that's fitness, anything, 30% more that you're capable of. So that's when the brain actually says, oh, I've had enough here. You've actually got 30% more to go, which is a crazy ratio. There's so much more there. So you put that back to the sales term, there's always another call in the day. There's always another couple of calls you could do. There's always someone else to be communicating with if you allow yourself to go in that space if there's 30% more. So it's a nice little rule that I like to run the team on, which works well.
That extra call you can make, one more proposal you can put together, all of these things, it's just that little bit more where you can dig a bit deeper. Do 10 push, everybody else does 10 push-ups, you do 13.
Yeah.
Find that 30%, and I'm doing that. I'm trying when I'm doing my laps. I'll do 10 laps, nearly die, and struggle for the last 3. But consistency is key as well. It's making sure you keep doing it. You can pull yourself up a number of times, but unless you're consistent in doing so, it won't sink in. It won't solidify, and you've got to be consistent. The last really part of time's flying through this episode. It's really good being back in this studio, but we really want to focus finally on putting the customer first. This motivates the absolute buggery out of me. Knowing that I'm performing for my customers, yes, it's cliche, yes, we've all heard it, but listening to your customers, actually listening to them, and knowing what they're looking for in their coming year, what they want to achieve, what their concerns through COVID have been, all of these things make you a better salesperson and you a better account manager.
Well, it's like once you go and get kids, you realise that you will do more for others than what you'll ever do for yourself. So it's the same for a customer. If you get excited by making them a success, everything else just will fall behind it. It's focusing on the customer first. It's always been our philosophy here. Ours is to improve our lives of our customers. So I say to the team, don't call any of these steel pushers unless you can improve their life. And unless you can, improve their business, improve their life, have something that's going to change their business in a positive way, have some information that you're actually going to, help them with today. be positive in the day that, in the call that you're actually going to make or when you go and see them. It's a real mindset thing, but it's a customer first thing. I think it's absolutely crucial in business.
Yeah, I agree. And it's really important to build those healthy and positive relationships with your customers. And you do that by backing up everything you say with actions. Actually go and do what you tell them you're going to do. Don't just, blow smoke in the wind and tell them, oh, yeah, it's all going to be wonderful. I'm going to make sure that that I do everything in my power to improve your business and help you get more sales. If you don't genuinely believe you can do that, don't say it. But if you do, back it up.
Well, it will just come unstuck, and then the expectations will be broken. So you've got to do what you say you're going to do. And then it's back to the trust, honesty, and that's what's going to do the right thing by your customer. And
never be afraid to overcommit. It's something that's come out of the book we recently read. I love it. There's that saying that we've all heard it was undercommit, overdeliver. Nah, rubbish. Overcommit and then push yourself to meet that commitment. It's a massive motivational tactic and it works wonders for myself.
It's a total different mindset, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
I like it.
So another as well is, share and revel in the success that your customers have. Ask them how their financial year went. Ask them how the last couple of months went. Talk to them about what they might have done over the weekend. There might have been something on the weekend that made them ridiculously happy. They might have finally gone out and bought the boat they were saving up for 20 years for. I'm looking for a boat myself at the moment. I'm looking for a tinny. It's nothing special, but it's going to be a big deal for me when I finally get it.
Something special, mate. You're out on the water with a fishing rod in your hand.
That's right.
That's special.
It's all about making sure that you do share in that success your customers and that your customers have, and you share in that elation, and that motivates both yourself and your customers as well.
Rightio, Lyndon. We want to leave these steel pushers with 5 good, tangible things they can take away that they can use for motivation. I'm actually going to add a second one or a sixth one in here.
Sixth one, all right.
It is, motivation will come and go. You got to have the higher purpose absolutely clear as anything, whether it's on a board, whether it's talked to with your wife, it's your family. It is a higher purpose that you are doing this whole role for anything. You've got to have a higher purpose. Then the motivation can come and go, then we can use these other tools. So what's your first one?
So the first one I want to touch on, and we'll quickly on that note, the higher purpose as well. You're right, we're salespeople. We are motivated by money. No ifs or buts about that. But having that higher purpose, knowing that you're driving forward for your family or driving forward because you want to create a better life for your customers, or if you're having that higher purpose to motivate you is huge, I agree.
Well, the money. It's not actually the money. It's what the money brings.
Money can do for your family.
Well, notes, you want some of those. I mean, they're pretty cool when you get those biggies. But it's not the notes. It's all the things you can do with it. It's the freedom it allows. The toys, the journeys, the people who can come into your life because money's just a measurement to me, of the value that I'm actually delivering to anything. So,
point one. The big one. It's you've got to master your craft. You have to master your craft. Choose a book a month for yourself and your team to learn from. The 12-to-1 ratio. If there's something that us as a team at Machines for You can give everyone out there in the sales game, implement this. A book a month. It's done amazing things for us. I can't suggest it strongly enough.
Yep, you'll be, it's the old 12-to-1 ratio, you'll be 12 times smarter than someone else who's not reading a book. There you go.
Number 2, the 30% rule. You can always do more. Look for that extra 30%. If you've done 10 push-ups and everybody else has done 10 push-ups, do 3 more. Make that extra call.
Yeah, and this comes from the old David Goggins learning. I don't know if you've ever watched him, but look up after this one on YouTube and look into David Goggins. He's like, there's always 30% more. And he's right. I've found it many a times now.
And a physical one for you, get a stand-up desk. I love my stand-up desk. It's so good being able to stop what I'm doing, get up, pop my desk up so I'm standing for the next couple of hours or half an hour or whatever works for you. And finally, learn one new thing about each of your clients as often as you can.
Yeah, we'll go away for the next week and learn one more thing.
About your customers, yeah.
Every customer you speak to. Write it down.
So guys, look, it's been fantastic. Great to be back on the air. It's great to be back in the studio. It's great to have done another full year of Steel Pushers. Thank you very much for joining us. And remember, we're here to help you buy better,
Sell faster.
See you again next time.